Hello, everyone, and welcome back. 2 weeks from now, the current tariffs imposed by the United States may no longer be in place. That's the prediction circulating among international observers and analysts. And here's why. President Donald Trump has officially declared Russia an extraordinary threat to the United States. In a major policy shift, the Trump administration has unveiled its first round of sanctions in response to Russian President Vladimir Putin's ongoing refusal to halt the war in Ukraine. Trump has issued a direct ultimatum to Moscow: agree to a ceasefire by this Friday or face devastating consequences. Among those consequences, enormous tariffs on Russia's primary trading partners. Following this announcement, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that he had a phone conversation with President Trump. Times Radio reports that UK Labour leader Keir Starmer and several European leaders also joined the call, signaling a coordinated diplomatic response. To help break this down, we turn to Bill Browder, CEO of Hermitage Capital, Kremlin critic, and author of Red Notice: How I Became Putin's #1 Enemy. He shared key insights about this shift in U.S. policy and what it could mean moving forward. According to Browder, the announcement marks a clear gear change from the Trump administration, and unlike past rhetoric, this move includes real consequences. For instance, India, a major buyer of Russian oil, is now facing secondary U.S. sanctions. Since the war began, India has reportedly purchased around $350 billion worth of oil from Russia. That money, Browder emphasized, has directly funded the Russian war machine. Still, he cautions against taking these developments at face value. Trump's history with tariffs is fluid. Policies can shift overnight. And while targeting India is significant, Russia has other key partners, including China and Turkey. The critical question is, will the Trump administration extend these sanctions to them as well? Browder also raises another concern. Will Trump maintain pressure on India, or will these new tariffs quietly dissolve in the coming weeks? Another layer to this story involves a recent diplomatic meeting between Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and Vladimir Putin, an encounter few saw coming. What came out of that closed-door meeting remains unclear, and many are wondering how it will influence U.S. strategy. Now, let's zoom out. Could other countries follow the U.S. lead? That remains to be seen. The UK, for example, recently struck a new trade deal with India, raising questions about whether it would support secondary sanctions. Applying blanket tariffs on entire economies, especially allies, is a blunt instrument, but it could prove effective. When asked about whether Europe would join in, Browder warned that going too broad could backfire. Instead, he advocates for targeted sanctions, specifically against the businesses and refineries purchasing Russian oil. Go after the refineries, he said, and the oil purchases would stop. Simple as that. According to Browder, the harsh reality is that Putin has no interest in ending the war. He needs the conflict to maintain political power, rallying the Russian people against a foreign enemy, rather than facing criticism at home. Unless he's forced into negotiations by way of sanctions or military pressure, he'll continue to push for total victory in Ukraine. Trump's move to penalize India comes just weeks after calling it a close ally and friend. This underscores how fast diplomatic winds can shift in this volatile global environment. The big question now is, will the administration hold firm, and will other nations follow? Browder remains skeptical that these specific tariffs will last. He predicts that within 2 weeks, we'll see a different approach on the table. So what's your take? Drop a comment below.